Hey, on today's show, I want to show y'all how I create and rig one of my favorite little fishing rigs, the GFSC rig. It is perfect for presenting live bait over structure and for the most part, relatively shallow water. Now, you may be saying, GFSC rig, what the hell? You never heard of that before in my life. You probably haven't. But the GF part of that, of course, why not? Gourmet fishing, because we can. The SC part, that is the sliding cork. So the GFSC rig is actually the gourmet fishing sliding cork rig. So I tell you what, why don't we go ahead and get started, and I'll show you exactly how we both can tie the GFSC rig. All right, the GFSC rig, the gourmet fishing sliding cork rig. Well, obviously we're gonna need a cork so we can slide it up and down our line. But we also gonna need, a hook, barrel swivel, some weights. We can also need a bobber stop knot. Now, the hooks that I like to use, the circle hook, especially when I'm presenting live bait. They just, it just seems to work better than a J hook. And if you get any undersized fish, the chances of a gut hook or minimal. I'm not saying that they don't happen, but they do minimize themselves. So I like to use these circle hooks. This is the octopus style hook. Now, Eagle Claw I just had, but you can kind of take a look at this hook right here. This is I think this is a 3 or 4/0. This is a Gamakatsu style octopus circle hook, and it's got that little offset eye right there. I love those little offset eyes because I always snell my hooks to my leader material, and we'll get to that in a second. And then over here, I don't know if, heck, it might be kind of hard to see that. Can you see that? That's a little size 12 barrel swivel. Then we got right here, we've got a 1/4 ounce egg sinker. A 3/8 will also work with these corks. I don't know, that's about 1.5 inches, a 2-inch cork. I like the little football oval style corks. They work great. And then of course they've got this little piece that goes in top. I think those are originally used for, you run your line through it and then you clamp it down. I don't use that for that reason. But I'll show you how I incorporate that little plastic sleeve into our rig here in a second. And then of course, right over here, we've got our bobber stop knots, a little bobber stop rigs, and they come in, different sizes, different shapes. Here's another one, just I think these came in like a pack of 50. Now, if you wanted to, you could tie your own bobber stop knot, but I'm not going to worry about it because these that you buy come with a little hollow plastic tube. You slide your line on it and this, that, and the other and all that. So it makes it, a little easier than having to do it yourself. And another little piece of hardware, I guess you could say, that I like to use is this was about a 1-foot-long piece of number 4 leader wire. And what I did is I bent it over and kind of, crimped it up here at the top with my fingers and then wrapped it around itself. And I use it kind of sort of like a needle. And some of these hooks, some of these corks, when they put these things together, it's 2 halves. And I think they heat the styrofoam up or some kind of glue, and they put them together. And when they kind of compress them a little bit, that styrofoam will kind of expand out and clog up that hole. So, being able to have one of these little, I guess we'll call it a cork needle, to penetrate through there, and then you run your line through it, pull it through. Anyway, take care of that here in a minute. But no, that's a plus, and heck, especially on a windy day when you're trying to get your line. And anyway, let's take a look at how I created this little cork needle that helps us thread our main line onto our corks. So how do we go about doing that? Well, what we do is we come in here with some number 4 leader wire, and we're going to take maybe a foot, a 1.5 foot of this stuff, just like that. I'm going to take probably 3/4 of a coil. So we're going to come in here just like this with our pliers and get us a piece, just like that. Okay, out of the way, there we are. Now, we're gonna come through and bring these two ends together and then pull the top, just like so. And then I'm just gonna give that a real good squeeze, just like, and I'm creating a needle eye, just like that. So at this point, we're gonna come through and we're gonna twist it. That's it. That is our cork needle, voila. So as you can see right here, all we gotta do is run this through our cork. It's like that. We can grab our line through there, pull it through, and voila, we are rigged up with our own cork needle. So let's get into rigging our GFSC rig. And I'm gonna start out with the hook, the leader, and the swivel. That's kind of our base we're gonna go with. Now, this is just line so we can kind of sort of see it against my dark shirt, but I'm gonna snell my hook first, and probably coming up this way right now you might see a little heading. I do have a video out there tying the snell knot two different ways. There are all kind of ways to tie a snell. Of course, another piece of important equipment for me are my reading glasses, because I'm getting old. So anyway, let's get snelling. So we're gonna run that leader material through our eye, then we're going to come back and run it one more time and lay that tag in down the shank of the hook. Now I'm going to pinch the eye, make this this loop a little bigger, and then with these two fingers I'm going to open that loop up. And I'm going to start making tight twists. Not tight twists, but I'm keeping the twists tight to each other. So just like so. And we'll do this, 6, 8, 10 times, something like that. I don't know. That should work as kind of a minimum. Of course, you can go up as high as you want, I guess. So now at this point, I don't know, that might have been 6 or 8 loops. I didn't count. I'm gonna now basically grab with my middle finger and my ring finger. I'm gonna grab it, and I've got everything in my hand for this snell. I'm gonna grab the main line of my leader, and when I pull it, this is gonna kind of sort of disappear. Whoop, just like that. I wish it was magic, but it's not. Anyway, here's the tag in right here. And I'm gonna come over with my pliers. I'm gonna grab that just like so, and I'm gonna pull it. And you can feel that move through your pinch fingers when you do it. Now I'm gonna just slowly come in and finish that knot off by pulling both ends. Let's see here, grab this again, just like that, and then whoop, pull it. Wow, just like that. Simple, easy, quick. Now we'll come in here with a little maintenance, a little cleanup, some scissors, boom. Now I'm gonna let this spin, bingo, just like that. Now, I like to keep my leaders 10, 12, 14 inches long, so that's obviously longer than that, but we're going to tie a knot in that, which will shorten it up a little bit, and that's the Palomar knot. So we're gonna grab our little size 12 barrel swivel. For the Palomar knot, I'm gonna come through and double this line over, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 inches, like so. Then we're gonna take that double loop line and feed it through our swivel, just like that, okay? Not too tough right now. And then we're gonna roll it over and make an overhand knot. Just like that. Not too tough, again. Now, at this point, I'm gonna take, we've got our loop from our overhand knot, and I'm going to take my swivel and feed it through there, just like that. And then we're gonna begin tightening everything up, just like so. And voila, there's our Palomar knot on our swivel. Again, a little cleanup, just like so. And there it is. Step number 1. This could be part of our Carolina rig that we use a lot. Then we could put the weight through here, and then boom, we've got a Carolina rig. Anyway, we'll get to that later, maybe. So, okay, I'm gonna put you right here for the time being. Now, let's take a look at actually getting the sliding cork part of our rig squared away. Now, I didn't feel like bringing up a rod or anything, so I've got some braid on a spool, so we're going to use that. We're going to act like that is our our rod. This is our main line. First thing we need to do is to come in with our bobber stop knot on our little hollow tube, and we're going to feed that, well, if I can get there, feed that through our tube, just like that. Okay, bingo. Now, next, we're going to hold the knot in our fingers and pull that little, well, I think we are, push it up, and then pull that little hollow tube toward the end of our line, just like that. So now we've got our knot on our line, and I'm going to come in here and pull the ends, just like that. Tighten it up a little bit, not too tight, and we'll come back and trim this off here in a second. Now, one of the hard things for me, because I can't see very well, is threading this line through this. Oh, I think I can see it through that little hole. Yeah, hey, how about that? On cue, it works. Okay, so now that little bead right here is going to stop on this stop knot and won't move. Well, I mean, it'll move, but you know what I mean. So next, we need to come in with our bobber, and it looks like I got a little bit of mess down in there. I'm going to use our needle in a second, but I'm going to come in and put our little plastic bobber sleeve in, just like that. Now next, I'm going to come in with our bobber needle that I made, and I'm going to just kind of push that through. Oh, there it goes, just like that. So now what we have is our bobber sitting on top of our little bobber needle, if you want to call it. That sounds good to me. So we'll tag that as a bobber needle. Now I'm going to come through. I'm going to, I think, there we are, put our line through our little bobber needle, and then I'm going to slowly pull that through, and then voila! Now we have our line threaded on our bobber threaded on our line. Now next, I'm going to come in with our egg sinker. We're going to run that through just like that, and this is a 1/4 ounce. 3/8 works just fine with that size bobber. Hey, let's take a quick look at how a 1/4 ounce egg sinker works with a cork and how the 3/8 ounce egg sinker works with the cork. It's only 1/8 ounce difference in weight, but there are a few little similarities. Not similarities, just little differences the way that cork sits in the water. So, you know, I've got 2 little glasses of water here. We got, you know, nice little pint glasses or whatever they call those. You know, this one's got the Abaco Bar and Grill logo. This one's got one of the Gourmet Fishing logos. Hey, you know what? It's a better time than any. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hey, really, serious, please do it. If you like the video, kick a little thumbs up, and also that notification bell, so you know when we upload anything new to the channel. You can also go to the website, gourmetfishing.com, and we've got everything, all our recipes, all our videos, all linked back to one place or another. And we also have a cool store where you can pick up some of our gourmet fishing attire, our Abaco Bar and Grill attire. We also have our Pluff Mud stuff out there also. So anyway, self-promotion out of the way. Let's take a look at how this 1/4 ounce egg sinker, we'll turn this way, kind of get the logos out of the way. So how this 1/4 ounce works with the cork. You know, it does a pretty good job. You know, not too bad. It's we've got kind of a halfway point on these corks, and that one is just above that halfway mark. Now, on the same token, let's see what this one does. Okay, that one right there is just over the halfway point. So it's like right in here. This one is just under here. So again, you know, it's amazing how that little 1/8 of an ounce makes a difference. But I tell you what, both of these work. So hey, if you've got a 1/4 ounce in tackle box, not a 3/8, no problem. If you've got a 3/8, not a 1/4, hey, no problem. So there you go. That's kind of sort of how these bobbers, these corks, however you want to call them, react to our weights. Now, very close to being done. We're going to come back with our leader, and we're going to create another Palomar knot. So here we go. Again, we're going to double our our main line, our braid over. And by the way, this braid that especially when I'm in the backcountry and I'm fishing around oyster shells or docks or other structure that's very abrasive, I like to use about a 30 to 40 pound braided line. Now it may seem a little overkill, but you know, just for that abrasion resistance, I like to have it a little kicked up more than usual. So anyway, here we go. We're going to come through again, double our line over, create an overhand knot like so. Now I'm going to open this up, and then we're going to come in and run our hook and leader through there, just like so, and then pull our swivel through, and then begin to tighten our knot up. Just like that, and bam. Wow, how about that? We're done. Quick, easy, simple. And with a lot of these knots and rigs that we tie, the more you do them, the more efficient, I guess you could say, that you get at it. But here it is. Okay, oh, almost. We do need to trim this up because you can get a little bit of a tangle if you don't. Now I'm not gonna trim them all the way down because I want to be able to tighten that knot again as the fishing day goes on. So I'm going to come in. But we did clean it up just a tad, and you can come in here and you can grab that and tighten it up a little more. But anyway, you know, the neat thing I like about this sliding cork rig is, boom, that's upside down. So, when it's sitting in the water, like this, you've got that bait sitting in the water column where you want it, maybe just above your structure if you're fishing for flounder or red drum, sitting right there, because obviously the flounder feed up, and kind of sort of the red drum do the same thing. They're down on the bottom. So if you're fish where I fish, up in the Charleston area of South Carolina, we've got about a 6 foot tide, kind of sort of on average. So, between that cycle of 6 hours and 24 minutes of where that tide, comes in or goes out, I guess you could say that you lose about a foot an hour. Now, I don't think it's a linear association. I would assume that, probably the middle part you might lose a little bit more. Anyway, just for conversation point, let's just say that in an hour you lose a foot of water. So let's say, I don't know, you're and in 30 minutes you lose 6 inches. So if you're fishing in an area, all of a sudden the tide's coming in, you're getting farther and farther away from your structure. All you do is you pull that up, and that puts your bait right back down in the strike zone. So that's why I love this little sliding cork rig for live bait fishing. It allows you to adjust, as the tide comes in and goes out. So I hope y'all give this a shot. I mean, it's a great way to present your live bait, and not just live bait. You can use these little lead heads and use those scented plastics to do the same thing. So I tell you what, down here, hey, we've got a video on the Palomar knot, a little close up, a little more step by step involved in doing that over here. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And until next time, God bless, and we'll see you soon.